We're gonna move to another location because it's too noisy and crowded in here. But I wanted to flex the fancy background. Why not? We're on a date. Hey guys, I'm back. So we decided to move to an outdoor spot just for filming, but we're also gonna grab some more drinks after. So welcome back to another episode of Peaches Reviews Pages. This is the YouTube or vlog tie-in with my book blog called Peach Pink Pages. And since I will not be doing a commentary on one book, as I mentioned earlier, I will be doing a commentary, or I guess a quick breakdown of more than one book. So I don't have the book with me right now, but I will flash the titles and book covers on screen or photos depending on which one I will be using for this vlog. So if you haven't checked out my blog post, go read the official post below and also subscribe to my channel. This is also my first post of 2026 in terms of my book blog, but if you guys would like to rewind and check out my other episodes, I also have the playlist here, so go check it out. Jerome this time is not filming me, but he is cheering me on and I'm using his phone with a power bank. Okay, so as you can probably tell from this date, hopefully I don't publish this way after Valentine's Day, but this is a Valentine's special entry. Yeah. So what better way to celebrate Heart's Day than to read a romance novel, right? For a dash of fun and enjoyment, why not make it comedic as well? If you often think about the evolution of love and sexuality as decades went by, then Kirsty Greenwood's novel, The Vintage Guide to Love and Romance, is your perfect match this Valentine's season. This is also another one of the rare gems and finds taken from the very same book box I frequently visit at our nearby mall. From afar, I first thought that this book was like a little textbook or self-help guide with the colors and illustrations. The art style and font placement reminded me of one of my favorite non-fiction books, Camilla Morton's A Year in High Heels, an educational guide pertaining to fashion and beauty tips. This book was one of my favorite reads of 2025, if you haven't read that post yet. In fact, I also got the latter book in the very same book box. I'm starting to see that book box from Cebu in our mall as a treasure trove. So, read Greenwood's book title and plot summary and you'll realize that it's a novel disguised as a self-help book. It explores relationships that evolved in the last 50 plus years, although the majority of the book takes place in the present times. Our protagonist, Jessica Beam, is an all-around party girl who struts her style and has fun in the wildest ways possible. But she's also a troublemaker. After having an affair with scandals, job losses, and the passing of her mother, Jess's life is about to take a huge turn. First, her best friend and former roommate, social media star Summer Spencer, betrays her and kicks her out of their shared apartment. Then, Jess stumbles upon a long-lost grandmother she's never met, Matilda Beam, author of some 1950s-based romance guidebooks of which Jess has read for a while. Now in their awkward first meeting and reunion, sort of, Matilda aims to help Jess put her life back together by following the advice in her guidebooks. Matilda herself is struggling. With her old books no longer selling, she believes that if Jess applies what she may learn from her books and proves that love can be old school, perhaps Matilda's books can skyrocket into popularity once more. Jess is given a mission by Matilda: win over hotshot playboy and billionaire son, Leonardo Frost. There's just one problem. Jess finds Leo rather obnoxious, especially after encountering him at a party. Still, Matilda has a solution: start all over and give Jess Beam a new fake identity and lifestyle in an attempt to put her guidebook to the test. The whole faking identity plot is honestly such an underrated theme that I wish more novels could follow the formula of. The ultimate lesson in the end is to simply be yourself and accept yourself for who you are, but only after getting hit hard by a reality check from your fake identity shenanigans. The shenanigans are what make the story exist. Without it, the formula crumbles. Since there wasn't too much to digest in Greenwood's novel, I will also discuss other similar novels with such storylines. Although the former will still be discussed here. Jess's fake identity as an old school, timeless beauty of a woman from the 1950s while also pretending to be a wealthy socialite reminds me of a novel I read a few years ago. It's called The Fraud Squad by Kyla Zhao. Hope I didn't butcher that name. Zhao's debut novel explores class conflict and corruption in the media. Samantha Song is struggling to make ends meet until she spots an opportunity to go undercover in her favorite magazine. Owned by Singaporean elites, Samantha feels the pressure to live up to their standards. That's when she meets her new best friends, Anya and Timothy, both of which help her secure a spot. Anya lends Sam the finest clothes and jewels, and Tim offers her tips and basics in behavior. All up until her facade slowly crumbles the longer she keeps her act up. And she starts to fall hard for Tim despite being classes apart. The same could be said in David Hume's young adult novel, Super Fake Love Song, where a case of mistaken identity leads a geeky boy into a downward spiral just to impress the cool and cute girl he likes. Sunny Day, that's his actual name, is a geeky nerd obsessed with his Dungeons and Dragons style campaigns and only has two friends. When he meets the new girl Cirrus is like the cloud, Cirrus saw, he is incredibly drawn to her. However, she is very out of his league. When Cirrus comes over to Sunny's place, she mistakes Sunny's older brother Gray's room for his own. This unintentionally starts a big lie in Sunny in order to impress the rocker girl that he likes. Sunny turns his nerdy D&D campaigns with his two best friends into a newbie band. For Gemma from Katie Finn, or should I say Morgan Matson's trilogy, Broken Hearts and Revenge, another bit of mistaken identity leads her to attempt and win her ex-best friend Hallie over after a betrayal that ruined their friendship a few summers ago. Hallie seemed to play along, thinking that Gemma is Gemma's best friend Sophie from back home. Gemma's lie allows her to start a budding romance with Haley's older brother Josh, whom she always liked for years. However, my controversial take is that I can't help but agree that the whole of Matson's trilogy is Gemma herself. While I mentioned the formula of fake identities that deserves more attention, not every character deserves to be on the path of redemption for the truth exposed. Gemma was rather an annoying and petty brat. While kids and even teenagers can do a lot of stupid things to themselves or even each other, Gemma attempting to rekindle her friendship after literally ruining Haley's parents' lives from it seems off. Especially if you do that by faking your identity. Had to tie my hair because it is very hot. We're outside because all the other places inside are crowded.
Sweat drop.
Oh, oh, we caught that on camera. Cute. Okay, so going back, I think that's why the whole story turns into a trilogy of two girls fighting while Gemma tries to win Josh's heart. Still, how far would you go to achieve something you want, even if it's through the worst means possible? In writing duo Christina Lawrence, The Unhoneymooners, not only is this romance tale an enemies to lovers trope, but also a huge identity crisis that not only involves one person, but two. Olive Torres, the so-called unlucky twin sister of Amelia, has lost her job, is a black sheep in her family, and can't even find the love of her life. When Amelia's wedding faces a serious deal of food poisoning, only Olive and Amelia's husband's brother, Ethan, are left unaffected. With a free honeymoon trip for two, Amelia enlists Olive and Ethan's help to cover for them until they recover. The task is simple. Olive could easily pull it off. But is she ready to live in her sister's shoes and live in the limelight? It's easy until she must know her sister enough in order to truly live as her. Suddenly, this vacation in paradise becomes a nightmare. You can read more about my commentary on that book over here or in the link below. Returning to the world of young adult characters, one last novel I'd like to discuss is I Believe in a Thing Called Love by Maureen Gu. The Vintage Guide to Love and Romance and this book both have this in common. Using a guidebook or a set of guides and tips in order to win over the comically hot love interest or Desi, that should be simple. All she has to do is follow a set of rules she picked up from the K-drama she and her father watched in order to get the hot new boy Luca to date her. Desi, who believes that the heroine can win her lover over by the 10th episode, sees herself as a character in a K-drama and imagines strange fantasies and scenarios, changing her perspective on love. She ends up blurring the lines between fiction and reality. Here's the thing about faking your identity. The longer you keep up an act, the more guilt eats you up. And guilt can be a real bitch, depending on the severity of your actions. Every fake identity love story always comes crashing down to one thing: the truth about who the main character really is and their love interest feeling betrayed. Returning to Jess Beam's story, having to transform herself into rich, beautiful, and 1950s dream girl Lucille Darling just to get Leo Frost's attention puts a strain on her. Unlike the other characters or the stories I mentioned, this mission by Jess's grandmother is something that Jess herself does not want. Being a proper lady from a different decade just feels a bit off, and the more she sees through Leo as Lucille, the more she knows that isn't something she wants. Between her acting skills and Leo, Jess continues to live her life as a party girl, even getting into a heated, friends with benefits relationship with a cute doctor named Jamie. Jess also tries to move on from summer scandals and grow closer to Matilda's assistant, Peach. Most importantly, while living under her grandmother's roof in the meantime, Jess uncovers her late mother Rose's diaries. There, she uncovers a nasty truth about why she never knew her grandmother, nor her own mother at all. Matilda was a foil to the life Rose Beam wanted to live, but had to suffer under Matilda's reign of power in her household that drove her to insanity. During her teenage years, Rose met and fell in love with Tom, who Jess learns was her father, but Matilda did not approve of him because he was of a different class status. Instead, Matilda desperately tried to set up Rose with an older, wealthier man named Nigel, whom Rose despised. Feeling ashamed for her own relationship with Tom, especially when she was pregnant with Jess, Rose fled home and ensured Jess would never have to meet her unsupportive and controlling grandmother in her lifetime. Connecting the dots, Jess sees how changing up herself for Matilda is almost exactly what drove Rose to insanity, especially when, despite his initially douchebaggy behavior, Jess finds herself taking a liking to Leo. In a drunken encounter, my makeup's melting, Leo finds out that he was a ploy used by the Beams to save Matilda's dying career as a writer and dating coach. Here, the story's formula follows the love interest feeling betrayed. But the significant difference is that there were other parties involved in Jess's transformation sequence. In the end, she managed to win over Leo by, no surprise, being herself, a weird, silly, and wild party girl from the middle class, whom Leo sees for her true charms and gladly welcomes with open arms, despite their differences. Even in such adult-oriented novels like The Vintage Guide to Love and Romance and The Unhoneymooners, these stories teach us the true lesson of being yourself and how love can change things. Love makes us see things our eyes can't recognize at first glance. If anything, getting together with Jerome has changed me for the past almost 2 years now. Looking back, I would definitely cringe at my younger self, especially when it came to dealing with relationships. In the past, I tried to change myself in order to impress a few others, and later, a 4-year long-distance relationship I had from an online space. Being a part of that online space, it was very easy to lie to myself and others for so long, and I managed to get away from it. The only thing I had to live with years later on was struggling to figure out who I really was. I was surrounded by both people online, good and bad, and I felt safe with them at times. But in reality, I only made myself lonelier as my fake identities went on. After my previous relationship ended, Jerome started to help me see my true self and embrace it. I got to finally experience the things I had missed out on during my online sheltered life. I made up with my friends, formed new connections, and lived the best last 2 years of my college life. Maybe it was getting to experience the cutesy feelings of love and loss, among others, in real life. But with Jerome now, I couldn't be any happier, and the more now I have graduated from university and working in the business world. Here, I may have to put a front at times, particularly to have a more professional side. But work hasn't stopped me from holding back being my true self. With a love like Jerome's around, he continues to remind me to shine in my own way each day. It's raining! Yeah, but it's not hitting here.
Alright, you're sweating.
I'm sweating, but I'm very far from the camera. Now, to answer the question of this article, is love really an identity crisis? Yes! Love allows us to feel certain emotions besides the emotion itself and helps us shape our own thoughts, mindsets, and even behavioral patterns. Love can be a driving factor in one's growth and transformation, but it can also be the key to destroying oneself if not learned properly. Jess, Sunny, Sam, Gemma, Desi, and Olive's stories all teach us that when we fall in love, we can see the world differently. Whether there are external factors driving us to these changes, an identity crisis or not, There is only one thing that can make these characters' love stories less complicated. Just be your fucking self, dude. Well, I hope everyone out there, single, taken, or recently heartbroken, will still have a happy Valentine's Day filled with love and new lessons to learn. Thank you for sticking around with me. May these goofy love stories keep you company during the season of love. But remember, there will always be a blurred line between what lies beneath and the real world around you. It's up to you on how you'll deal with these things and what you can get out of it. So, this was another episode of Peach's Reviews Pages by Peach Pink Pages by Mara Chu of the Mara Project. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode and I'm wishing you all a belated happy Valentine's Day. May your days be filled with more love as days go by. Thank you for watching. Bye guys!
See?
Yeah.
You asked for flowers.
Say hello.
Hello.
Happy Valentine's and Montsari.
Thank you. You want yours?
Sure. What? He really does. Yo, Psyduck!
And of course, same.
Chocolate!
There you go. Yo.
Yeah. Hello and welcome to the Mara Project. Marchua here and new phone, who dis, but also Jerome's phone is at 3%. So we are currently on a Valentine's date right now. And I don't know if my mic can pick up the audio better, but since new phone, who dis, I may as well say welcome back to another episode of Peach's Reviews Pages. So instead of doing a commentary on one book, I will do a quick commentary on multiple of them. What? Okay, some people don't know how to close the door. They should do like automatic doors. Anyway, so. Oh my gosh, oh! Very beautiful. Have to say for yourself.
It's at the end. You're like Marchua, mayor of Yapperville, inventor of Yapperville.
Mayor of Yapperville.
Happy Valentine's, everyone.
Happy Valentine's.
It gets worse.
It gets worse the longer you
It
listen.
gets worse.